Hello, hello, hello. So, I am behind on updating on Yellow Scribe my 40k armies, but while I was thinking about maybe doing that right now, something that was also on my mind is just doing a Warhammer video, just talking about stuff, because this is an army collection thing where I have some Digimon decks I'm going to go through and put on here, my Marvel Crisis army, my Star Wars Legion armies, and my Lord of the Rings army that I like, and along with a 1K army and the Xenos factions, Imperium factions, and Chaos factions. Man, I just took a shit. I'll be damned if I don't have to go again. Let's lower the interest bar on this video by me leaving the very beginning of it. What the fuck? Too. A good YouTuber streamer wouldn't do that, but I'm not your average good streamer YouTuber. I'm fucking bad, so it doesn't matter. On a random note, I got a scratcher last night. 1-0. That's the end of that story. So I've been meaning to play some 40k, but I've been kind of bored of it lately. I feel like I am getting peak optimization, and I just like the lore, where a lot of the factions either feel a bit too busted or just too weak right now, and there's gonna be major changes coming up. So let me go through Xenos first. Again, not all of these are updated. So the Tau one has been changed. I no longer have the Riptide after careful consideration, and I feel like this isn't a bad list, but what I ended up doing instead is I went 2 commanders. I went Farsight Enclave, so I can get Commander Farsight and a Crisis Battlesuit Commander. And then reason I have 2 commanders is I have 2 Crisis Battlesuit squads with 6 shield drones each. And they have different weapon loadouts, a single strike team for a patrol, 2 Sunshock Bombers, and 1 single Hammerhead. I feel like, yes, having 4 Hammerheads, which is 3 Hammerheads and Long Strike, is a big meme. But, I mean, what that's going to translate to is you kill probably a Marine and then 3 Mortals. Maybe you kill 2 Marines per shot. You know, not bad, but you're not getting your value back. And that's if you hit. Because Tau shooting is like trash in disguise. And so, at least it feels that way to me. You have to like work for it to not be garbage. Um, I don't know. With all these other factions getting like auto hits, wounds, tons of rerolls and stuff, Hammerheads, they are big spooky against big spookies. If your opponent doesn't have that and they're more infantry based, they're just they're a waste. There are better options, but I will always defend bringing one Hammerhead. One is always very worth. Uh, Especially if you don't know your opponent, because then you might fight someone, which say knights, and then boom, you can do major damage. You're a major threat with that one Hammerhead. Um, so the Tau, yeah, sit back and shoot, very nice. Oh man, I feel bad that I haven't uploaded that yet. Harlequins, they keep getting nerfed, and they're probably gonna get another one. Ah, they'll force me to play Twilight or Dark. Probably Twilight. I refuse to play Dark. Um. Uh, Jukari. I like my bike speeder list for Jukari, as I do for Yanari. Got to go fast. Tyranids, it's been slightly modified. I think it's because I took out one of the buffs, not adrenal glands, something else I think, toxic sacs, for the warriors, and then I used the points to get Hormagaunts, only because I think it's funny that you can move Hormagaunts, I think 18 inches with a stratagem, and then because they're OBSEC, you can use that to maybe steal OBSEC, a primary from somebody. Like, that's worth it, my opinion. Tyranids just have so much going for them right now. They feel like what Necrons wish they could be. It's what Necrons were, but they just have more. They just have more of everything. And the point changes to Necrons a while back definitely didn't do them any favors. I need to go through Orc Squigs and my regular Orcs to see which one is actually superior. Speed Freak's definitely in on the list. Because I'll make, probably instead of top 50, I'll make top 48 armies with 2 like honorable mentions. And then that'll have every faction. I know that'll be able to cover every faction. And from there, I'll be able to preen off like Speed Freaks. I'll mention Speed Freaks, but it's fucking bad. Leagues of Voton is weird. I like my LOV list, but it is not currently what's up there. Their melee version is. I really like just running their base kit dudes, because then you have 5 or 6 squads. I think it's 5. I run 5 squads. One, two, yeah. So 5 squads of the regular infantry dudes, and then these all have double OBSEC, and these dudes have OBSEC, and they can just run around and also grab something real quick. These guys can actually put out good damage. Though the Hurricane Warrior's Ion Blaster is good, the fact that they also have 1 heavy weapon dude each, Magna Rail, just random equivalent of like a plasma cannon Melta hybrid. And it doesn't get, as long as you're just moving normal, you can still fire it, but you don't get the penalty. So I think it's underrated. I think it's actually above its cost. You can run just getting this dude in a small squad, but you are more so rewarded for running the meta pack. Because the first time you would take a saving throw has failed, you reduce the damage to 0. And so it's like running a Helix Gauntlet. And what you can do is all these special dudes, so the Sergeant, the Med Pack, the Scanner, the Heavy Weapon, the Comps Array, you can just kill off all the non-special ones first before you even get to them. And so, it just gives you a lot of options to play them, of how you want to do it. Or if your opponent only has like plink shooting, then after you lose all these, instead your next choice might honestly be the meta pack, because who gives a shit against plink shooting. Yeah, I don't know. I still have that Hecaton Land Fortress. It is a bit of a point sink though. With all their changes, it was pretty punishing. So, to be seen. Yeah. Yeah, eventually I'll fix it so these are also locked, but anywho. Craft World, I just finished going over and fixing it. That one needs a lot of changes. I might even get rid of Tau Flamers, even though I got a compliment on it. And I've played it before and it's fun, but I just feel like it doesn't hold a candle. Get it, candle? Flamers? Against the regular Tau list, against most armies. It's just funny for its round 2 aggressiveness. I'm also possibly in shock from the gas grenades against the one match I had. Necrons, I ended up getting rid of the Chronomancer and reduced my Crypto Thralls by 1 because I had to. Because that way I can get 3 destroyers, Scorpic destroyers, and I can max out my Scarab Swarms to 9 each. I feel like that was the right call because honestly, it cost me Veil of Shadows to get dudes in, and then I have to charge with them. I get the reroll charge, sure, cool, but I'll probably be able to just meet me in the midfield. How about that? Like, with the Scorpic destroyers anyway. And this gives me more CP, which the list desperately needs. Because it starts with low CP. And yeah, I could buff them and maybe they could do some cool shit. But I just got really wrecked last time when I played against my dude's Paladins. And even if you remove heavy cover from the situation that he benefited from, I could still just flop everything like it did before. And that's so painful. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's better to just slow play it because, you know, resurrection protocols. Let's see. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, Tyranids are also just good as is. They're also really strong. I haven't wanted to play Drukhari. The bombers are really good. I don't know. Like, all the bike shit, go fast. Since I played a chunk of Harlequin, the others just don't seem to hold a candle to me or interest. And I also am annoyed that the last person I played, 40k, played fucking wrong. Or either last person or second to last person I played. The match got scrubbed because I made a mistake. And then I was midway, me telling him, hey, don't worry about it. Let's not even worry about it. He had a fucking tantrum. And he was like, GG, GG, GG. And left. And I'm like, bro, I'm here to play a fucking casual game. And I was gonna say, like, let's pretend I don't even have the stratagem. It was to fall back and shoot. And the dude's playing sweaty as fuck. I'm like, okay, this is for casual. And then immediately he posts to do competitive and casual after that. But he even got his rules wrong for Harlequins. I'm like, wait, you know you can't open top shoot with your guys anymore when you advance, right? He's like, no, it's when they disembark. And I'm like, he's like, otherwise it'd be totally weak. I'm like, okay, but I'm pretty sure it's not. And I went back later. I'm like, yeah, I knew it. I was right. Get rid of this. I'm gonna deal with that right now. So, unfortunate. That was my last 40k experiences with that dude. I don't know. So I haven't felt like playing that much. Like, it takes a while it's still far reduced from Alpha Strike capability, but like a lot of the armies, there's secondaries. I was thinking maybe I should change my list so they have more points towards their secondaries for each faction. But like, just play to kill things. Like, I feel like honestly, if you are able to win the primaries, you're probably gonna win the game anyway. If you're not playing to win the primaries, you're probably gonna fucking lose. And my god, how niche it is to purposely play like that and win. And like the armies that allow you to do that, that's so niche. I don't even know if it's a thing. Basically, Necrons or Blood Angels or Dark Angels, but the thing is, they've all been reined in a bit, so I don't think you can as much anymore. Imperial Fist. Okay, so I wanted to also do a top 50 video. That's what I've been saying I'm going to be doing. I was going to cover all the armies. I was going to make a tier list. I still want to do that. That hasn't changed. But while I've been trying to make this mod fine-tuned, so it looks pretty, it works well for everyone that is interested, etc. I've had a problem, and that problem is that GW really likes chaos, and they're just, some stuff is unbalanced, and it's going to change drastically. So Armor of Contempt may or may not change some armies, how I would build it if it is removed completely. Guard changes. I didn't cover Genestealer Cult from this bag because Genestealer Cult is going to get changed based on Guard, which I'm still waiting for all the Guard stuff to be accessible to me on Battlescribe, etc. So I can do that. They might, when the Codex full releases, they might remove AOC just from Guard. They keep saying, oh, 10th edition's close, 10th edition's close. Is it? So I don't know when that's going to release and change things. And then, furthermore, they're talking mad game about so many changes coming out in January, which I don't know if that's when World Eaters are going to come out, but that's when they're going to do a lot of widespread point changes and updates, hopefully / supposedly. And so, as it stands, for, let me pull up Chaos, Black Legion, so half of the fucking CSM legions are cookie cutter the same list almost. So it's very oppressive right now with the, hold on, where's it gonna spawn you? With the bullshit you do with the Terminators. So you take your 10 block of Terminators, you give them Black Rune of Damnation, and then you give a Master Possession to buff them as well. And then you give your Sorcerers, I forget if I usually, Black Legion's different if you run one or two of them for the other ones, to give them Prescience, I think. And can you get Warpweave Mantle? I don't remember, but you just buff them to hell. So they're -1 to hit, -1 to wound. They have an improved save. They resurrect, +1 to hit, +1 to wound, and all this other nonsense. And they just become a fucking menace. Ugh. I think, was it also T5? They're just so annoying. Like, they get so stupidly strong. And in the end, it's a dice game, so you could still, it may not matter if your opponent rolls, like, all 6s. But it is ludicrous how good this is. And so, people just run this. Furthermore, Dark Apostle is extremely good as well for buffing them. And if you're Black Legion, or any other Legion, you're bringing Abaddon, but if you're Black Legion, they're going to buff Abaddon. This is basically in every single one. Because, like, why would you not? And then you can change this up then, but that just makes you go from 1 to 3. Maybe you could bring a Cursed Cultist because they're undervalued, but like you can't do actions with them. I think it's been a minute. I don't know, but Cursed Cultists are nice. I just think having up to 3, at least one, if not up to 3 Legionnaires are just better generally because of AOC. And I just Possess are just better than Termies in general. And then why want to bring more Possessed than Havocs? The fact that you can put these dudes with Zinch and they just get buffed even further. I don't. All the CSM lists are the fucking same, and it fucking bores me. A lot of these lists, and then some of this also goes for Imperium. Some of the Imperium stuff is the same. Oh look, Infiltrators, so you don't have to worry about people deep striking and charging you, or deep striking you with Flamers, which are the most broken unit in the game right now. Hashtag the fucking guard shit, Kazarkins, and then that way you control at least your half of the board pretty well while you just fight in the middle. Better than other armies. So most Imperium, I just bring at least 1, if not 3 of these dudes, and then Callous Assassin because she's so fucking good. And then from there, it's like, okay, do I bring Terminators or other things? And since it's melee heavy, unless you get a lot of range bonuses, you're incentivized to bring melee heavy. And that's Imperial Fists, that's Custodes, that's Dark Angels, let's see, also you. Like, some of the armies are almost exactly the same or very similar. And I think I have to play either an extremely fast match or somebody that, I don't know, still has wonderment in the game, that has like high level energy and excitement. Because I mean, I just do it as a hobby. I don't have any inclination to force me or incentivize me to play every single one constantly. So I don't, once I've played them once, it's like, alright, I've played them, I have a good idea of how they work, I'm good. If I don't feel like playing it, I don't feel like playing it, which is unfortunate, because I would love to, like, just be a gamer full time. But the 40k is not exciting content for the tabletop. It's long, it's arduous, there could be arguing, possibly. It could be one-sided with the dice. Who knows? And there's the joke that, like, Custodes, so good, but that's the lore. Tabletop, not really. So, they're just definitely not cost efficient on the tabletop. Ugh. I built a really derpy list with my Custodes. I miss my Galatuses. I miss them a lot. I think they're super cool and good. Even against Melta spam, you can get lucky. If they can survive the first 1 to 2 rounds of Melta spam, then you're golden. You're golden, gold boys. Ah. But yeah, right now, like, Guard is releasing with some stuff being wildly ridiculous, other stuff being undertuned. Catachan are throwing the dumpster, basically, unfortunately. No one's really playing AdMech. AdMech, the only 2 armies to run, really, are the AOR or the Outrider, in my opinion. And for Chaos, like, Be'lakor is still slightly overtuned. The biggest way to easy fix Be'lakor, and that's without me talking about Flamers, which I should talk about first, is just make it so you can't bring them as just regular demons. If you bring Be'lakor you have to bring, um, you have to make it his army of renown for either demons or CSM. That's what you have to do. You cannot just bring him, a bloodthirster, and a lord of change. None of this shit. Stop that. No, 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 no. Or like I don't know that needs to happen. That'd be the easiest way. You don't have to fiddle with his stats or with his points. Just make it so he has to be forced to be his army of renown. Abaddon. This isn't just Abaddon, it's Abaddon and the Master of Possession. More so the Master of Possession and Dark Apostle. All three of those dudes are nutty and too good. They need point increases all across the board to incentivize people not to run that stupid shit. Don't touch the Terminators, because then I'll just do the same thing on my Possessed. So don't even worry about them. Hit those other three dudes. Increase Abaddon, increase Master Possession, and Dark Apostle. You have to target all three, because all three are the problem. Because even if you target the Master of Possession, well, it still might be worth to run with the Dark Apostle and vice versa. And then even if you target those two both hard, well then, even if you removed it, Abaddon's still good. Run Abaddon and everything. Like, no, you need to give me a reason to not. He's just too good right now. So, hit him with the point stick with all three. And then Flamers. Zinch Flamers are too good. Ridiculously so. Besides that, I'd probably go into things in every faction. Maybe that's a video I can do. If I think stuff needs to be touched or not. I'm gonna touch you. Touch, touch, touch. Ew. Okay. Well, that's being dumb. Anyway. Yeah, these flamers are a fucking menace and need to go away. I fought a dude and I feel like I improved his list by running the Exalted Flamer. I forget what I did to fiddle with the changes, but I feel like this is vastly improved. Just to buff them because they are just so good right now. Like Bellacore raid boss, backup raid boss, and then these dudes just holding points down, hanging out, having a great time, farming, interrogation, or doing other silly business with this one, and then these just being a fucking menace. I still have that video of when I just liquefied my friend's kill rig and his war boss on Squeakosaur with the flamers. Like, what is that? They're too much. And so many point changes need to happen, like, for me to feel like the game is a bit more balanced, because it's just so fucking wonky and stupid right now. I just can't ignore it. I can't get it out of my mind's eye for me to focus on the enjoyment, because there's so much shit that's stupid. I would need someone to be really happy and wanting to play, and then I respond with, well, what army do you want me to play? Because I could play with anything. But some are just far more ridiculous than others. And like, my Iron Hands are like, okay, will I destroy you turn 1? Or turn 1 to turn 2, round 1? If not, I will experience problemas. But they're very fucking good at doing it. So it's quite the Exodia playstyle where it's like, all right, do I win? Oh, I don't instantly win. Okay, GG. Possibly, and I just don't think that's a fun mindset. And I'm glad it's been slightly toned down for that being the case in a lot of armies. But if it just goes from round one to round two with a lot of armies, and then round one, it's just the same thing. It's just slower. And it's like, oh, well, it's like round three, round four. No, then you're halfway through the game, and it's the same with almost every other faction. For most of them, are very hard hitting in round two. Maybe not in round one, but almost all in round two. And that's when you deep strike with almost every faction. And so, I just then it's just tactical moving, which a big amount of the game is moving. But then you also get like, oh well, is there too much terrain? And then you have like, besides shooting lanes, it's just too open, and so the shoot factions are way too strong. Or is it overt amount of terrain that heavily favors melee factions? I don't know. I've been thinking about making maps for a minute. I still plan to do that. I've been busy working. Just always worried about money. Probably didn't help that I bought a scratcher. But I haven't bought one in years. It was too tempting. I admit I fell to temptation. I was like, big monies would be great right about now. Doesn't help that I'm coughing. I'm coughing up mucus and feel meh before I have to go to work for, 8-9 hours today. Keep telling you to save this password phone. How many times we gotta teach you this lesson, old man? Yeah, I worked from 1 to 9:30 today. Joy. Yeesh. That'll be fun. I might even leave a bit early so I can get some mall food. What time is it? Yeah, that's something for me to think about. No, then I'll be too full. I won't want to work. How I wish I could be just doing just my college job only right now. How badly I wish that. Yeah, I just really wanted to rant because, like, too many of the armies feel the same. They're boring, not exciting. It's a time sink, and I don't have it with work. And when I do have time off, I'm doing other things. There's gonna be widespread changes where if they change Abaddon and Flamers. Oh, okay, Flamers getting changed. That affects Demons Undivided and Demons of Zinch. And technically, I should change my Thousand Suns list because there's more meta to have them. But I haven't done that because I expect them to change it, so I haven't never done it. And then, if they're changing Abaddon, hashtag Dark Apostle, hashtag Master Possession, then half the CSM lists are going to be changed, if not more. And so if most of the CSM lists are going to be changed, that's now 2/3 of Chaos I'm going to have to fix. If they're going to fix Abaddon, not Abaddon, they're going to change Gilliman up, they might have to fix my, at least Ultramarines one, possibly, to reconsider having him or not. I think, based on what I remember, it seems like he's overall getting buffed slightly. And then if they nerf Harlequins again, I have to think about them and Chukari and Yanari. And then if they change Admech up, then I'm going to change them to compensate for the improvements that they'll probably get. So there's just so many armies. I'm going to round, and then Tyranids are doing good. Tyranids and Necrons, they might get changes because they're still doing good. So I might have to compensate for that as well with the nerfs they might get. So there's just so much. Over half or more than half of the armies in the game are going to get changes, possibly in January. And so now I'm just at the point where it's like, how much do I even want to do when I know so much is going to get changed? Yeah, and then even after the stuff gets changed, it comes out, I've been stressed because of work and doing different things, playing other games. I'm enjoying my Paper Mario and Disgaea Let's Play I've been doing. I've been feeling like getting back into Ark. And then I had a thing with a friend where we just bought some other games so I'm trying out Oxenfree, Dirges or something, robot centric game, and Diablo 3, and so at least so many hours in the day. And now I have to coordinate trying to get a new roommate, or I'm gonna want to be involved with that because I don't trust my current roommate to care to the level of care that is needed for this. Because if he doesn't, I'm the one that's screwed. So it's rather important. For I wish not to be screwed. If somebody wants a quick faction to play as, play Imperium Knights or Iron Hands or Dark Angels, my Deathwing army. Those are probably still like, or Custodes even. Like all, was it 4 of those? Is there a 5th one? I'd recommend. Maybe Tau Flamers. Maybe. No, Chaos Knights. Chaos Knights to be faster. Imperium Knights, Chaos Knights, Dark Angels, Iron Hands, and Custodes are all very fast armies. Easy armies to play as. You move, you shoot, you destroy your opponent. If you're not, well, if you don't do that, well, problems. I just feel like passing out today. But I have to work. I already called out a lot, which is a problem. Alright, well, I'm going to end this here. I'll try to put out more Warhammer content. I just don't know when it's going to happen. We're already almost halfway through December. And as I said, I just got too much other shit going on. In a month, so much will change. I'll probably, between now and the changes, update all my armies on Yellow Scribe for the models for this mod. And then that'll hopefully save me a little bit of time. And it'll just be a bit nicer. The biggest thing I was waiting on is just Guard, because then I can at least push this mod out as soon as Guard is changed. Because then I can also update my Gene Stealers. Because Guard and Gene Stealers are the only armies I don't have on here. And then I could just quickly do the other stuff. I've also been wanting to write recently. Go back into doing D&D. There's only so many hours in the day. Well, with that said, take care, y'all, and game on, gamers.